Ushio to Tora feels like an old school anime. It's like a blast from the past. Now hear me out. This really feels like an old school anime, like something you would see in like 10 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. That's the type of plot it has, and that doesn't make it bad. Actually, it makes it very different from everything else I have seen from this season. Once again, I have to address that this summer season is really picking up into something very good. There's a lot of different choices for every fan of anime to really like from this season. Like, Ushio to Tora is very unique from this season. Like, everything I've seen from this season, this is definitely different from what I have seen. And I'm liking the setup of what this first episode did. Now, just to tackle something first, I know majority of you are probably going to question or talk about, or maybe be your reason of dropping the series, the art style. The art style, obviously, is not going to be for everyone, because I know there's anime watchers out there, even I in particular, I am sometimes like that, depending on how animation or art is done. For instance, if you don't like the art or animation, sometimes you will drop a series. Now, I personally like the animation. That's kind of what reminded me of why this looks like an old school anime, because when it came to the MC, like our main character, it reminds me of like a shonen protagonist with like that old art style you would see back in the early 1990s. That's kind of what type of art style our MC has, and he reminds me so much of that, especially with the way his nose and face is drawn. But the overall premise of the story of how our MC finds this demon locked away in his basement, that's been locked away in this basement for 500 years, and then he has to remove this spear that only a human can remove. He removes it out of this demon's shoulder, and then this demon has to hunt down the demons that he's drawn in because his, like, energy is luring in more yokai. I like that, because it's nothing, so to say, original, because we have seen this before. I personally have seen a lot of anime and manga similar to the startup of this episode, but that doesn't make it bad. It just means that it's something that not many anime nowadays use, and it really comes down to the way it's executed if this series is going to be good or not. Now, the way it's done, I like how it's just trying to break the mold of the current anime series. Like, as I said already, it reminds me of old school anime, and it feels like this anime is trying to, like, rebel against everything else. Like, it's trying to rebel against moe, and it's trying to rebel against the standard art style of anime we normally see. For instance, like Charlotte, I currently just reviewed, like, 30 minutes ago. I mean, it's rebelling against all that. It's rebelling against, you know, sci-fi. It has supernatural, and there is a lot of supernatural series nowadays, but it's kind of rare to see, like, a series focused on a main male character that finds a demon, and then they become, like, friends and enemies at the exact same time, trying to fight and kill things, like, you know, other demons. It's rare to see something kind of like that nowadays, and that's what, you know, Ushio to Tora is about. And I mean, if you're looking for a very old school type series that kind of reminds you of the past glory of anime, like, you know, back in the 1990s and early 2000s, you might like this series. So let's dive into what the plot is about. So, what is it about, so to say? Like, I've already said kind of about the spirit of the character and all that, but what is it really about? From what I could see from the opening song, piecing together the opening and the ending and, you know, what I saw in the episode, it seems like the main point of the series is going to be about Ushio to Tora, like Ushio and Tora, kind of having a rivalry. For instance, they're going to be rivals, but they're going to be friends at the exact same time. They're going to be having their conversations and having fun and stuff throughout the series, but they are going to be rivals, trying to probably kill each other. But in the same stance, they're going to be hunting down other demons, other yokai, and killing them, eradicating them, for they don't destroy humanity and probably, you know, harm anyone around our MC, or our two MCs, since, you know, Ushio and Tora are our MCs of the series. I can see that's what the series is going to be wrapped around. It's going to be about, you know, them hunting down demons, stopping it to where anyone else gets hurt, while our two characters probably have bicker and have fights against each other. And so I feel like that's what the plot is trying to center around. Now, it does seem like this series is going to try to use some form of romance. From what I could see, there is two love interests that were introduced in this episode that seem to be gunning for our main male character, because you have one that seems to be like a tsundere. You could easily see one character in this episode is like a tsundere. And then you have another character that tries to gun for the main male character, but is a little bit shy or embarrassed. And so that's kind of the love interest that were also introduced in this episode. So if you're not a fan of romance with these type of series, you might not like this episode, but if you do like it, and that's an added bonus for you, because it's a good episode. I mean, it's nothing amazing. It's nothing I could say that is 10 out of 10, but it is a solid episode. Like I said, if you're one of those fans, anime fans, that just love old school shit, like you love old school anime, you're gonna like the episode. Enough said. Yeah, enough said. But if you're looking for something very new, something very recent that kind of tries to break the mold but do something very, very, very different, you might not like the series. But it comes down to preferred taste and what you like from anime. If you like Ushio to Tora, I personally like it. I like all kinds of anime, and there's only selected few genres and stuff I really dislike, and I'm not personally one to really drop an anime over art and animation. I'm not. I mean, this series has a very different art style from normal, and like I said, it's a type of animation or art that would make some drop the series, because, I mean, people drop series for art and animation. I know it's shocking, but people do that, and it's that type of series. So, this series might fall into a hidden gem. I can actually see Ushio to Tora being the hidden gem of the season, because it seems like it's going to be rather underrated from the way it's going, because I don't think this series is honestly hype. I don't think there's any hype on this series. There might be, but I don't think this series is hype as some of the things I know from this season, and so I feel like this series is going to fall into the distance and be like that little hidden gem that the people that watch it know it's good, but the people that don't watch are going to look at it as like, it's meh. Yeah, that's, how people are going to look at it, and usually every anime season has those type of series. Every season does, and I wonder if this series is going to be that hidden gem. We'll have to see how it goes. Overall, first episode, I think it was rather good. I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it 3 episodes to see if I like it or not. If it continues to entertain me episode by episode, I will continue reviewing it. If it, does something I don't like, well, I'll just drop it, but I'll make sure to make a video and saying I'm dropping it. But that's that. So tell me your thoughts. What do you feel about this first episode? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? How do you feel about it? I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.